Tabs are mostly closed.
All right.
I have some open from the Home Depot. I just placed an order.
This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Guess what I got today? You'll never guess.
Something from Home Depot. You shouldn't support ICE, Emily.
No, it's not from Home Depot.
Okay, that's good. What'd you get?
A trash pad.
This is a pad that you put your trash on? Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is. It's something to put my trash cans on because otherwise I had to keep them on concrete where you could see them from the street. So I put this down around the back of my garage and it was all very uneven. And so Carlos, the gardening man, came over and put a little retaining wall in and paved it to match my fire pit. And now I have a trash pad and I'm so excited. I nearly high-fived his hand off his fucking wrist. I was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen. Boom, high five. So I was so happy. I was giddy. I was positively giddy. I was like, that is amazing. I love my trash pad.
I see your pictures there, but I don't understand the need to have your trash bins on a pad. What's the purpose of that?
Great question. Before, they were basically at the front of my house, making the front of my house look gross. And so instead I put it behind the garage. And before I couldn't because the gradient of what was behind the garage, it was too much. They would tip over. So it needed to be leveled out.
So it was slanted. The pads are to make it unslanted, make it level, and you had special contracting done. That is a commitment.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was doing work around the back there anyway. We had a fire pit put in and leveled out, but it was a last-minute add-on.
All right.
And I sent him a text on Monday morning. I was like, Carlos, when can I have my trash?
Do you call
pad?
him Los? Do you go, yo, Los?
Nah.
Because that's what I would do.
I haven't. I just...
Maybe start doing that. He'll like it. She's calling me Los. And very familiar. She likes me.
Very familiar. She likes me. He knows that I like him. We've been working with him and his crew for 8 years. We're very loyal.
Been working with who?
Carlos.
No, Los.
Los. Yeah. Los
So that is why
Gardner.
you had drilling before you went on the air and you said, hang on, I'm just getting drilling turned off.
Yeah. Actually, no.
That's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing because
and trash pads there at the house.
There's a craft room in the basement of my house and all of the cabinets and everything had the deck. And so we had some guys come in and so all the cabinets and cabinet tops got fixed and they had to drill through the tabletop.
I get it. But more
power.
important now is that I hear from people and they say that they sometimes understand that I just go with it, but sometimes I do need to stop you down for clarification. You said they'd had the dick, the things that had the dick. What does that mean?
It means they were fucked.
Okay. All right.
It means they were broken and busted and they were brown bread.
The one somebody emailed me about the other day was he twigged. That guy twigged. I was like, I just go with it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So if somebody twigs, the reference is when they realize that something has happened or somebody's there. You know, in movies, when everything's quiet and then they step on a twig and it goes crack and everyone's like, whoosh. And everyone
moment of attention.
A moment of attention.
Like twigged over to the new trash pads. Hey, look at that.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so good. All right.
Yeah, twig to it. Yeah.
There you have it. And also, just to be totally clear, I wanted you to know that I wasn't calling you a cunt the other day. I want to make that very clear. When Kristi Noem happened, I didn't know about it, and Emily was the first one to text me, and she texted me about it, and I replied with, fuck that cunt. But for some reason, when I replied, I put a comma after that, so it was like, fuck that, cunt. And I was like, oh, that looks bad. I didn't mean that the way it came across. You can see that. I put it up on our social media, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's the way that worked out. Punctuation is important. That's what I've come to know.
Punctuation is important.
Yeah.
And in our text thread, I was like, it's totally fine. It's totally fine for two reasons. One, because cunt is a term of endearment in my country. So much so that my best friend and I call one another mut, which is another word for vagina.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's
like fanny. Fanny in England is that.
a fanny is your vagina
Yeah.
in
Well,
Australia
not mine,
and England.
but
Not. Yeah. I don't want to assume.
I don't want to get into that. It's my fanny, my body.
my fanny. But here it's a bottom.
Yeah. And also, I am more apt to call a man a cunt in the U.S. than I am a woman because I just have ingrained in me that it's a very sensitive thing and that when you commit to cunt for a woman, you really mean it. And yes, I would go with cunt for Kristi now. That works.
We have, I don't know, a special move. You could call it like a finishing move in Australia. It's called a cunt punt.
Somebody does a cunt punt, you twig. Hey, look at that. Right?
Essentially what it is if you just kick someone right in the vagina.
I would never do that.
No?
It's more like if a couple of women are in a bar fight, they would do that maybe?
It's mostly the stuff of legends and jokes.
Ah, okay.
It's more like, I would like to punt her in the cunt. Or she's asking for a cunt punt.
It's just very lyrical and sounds good. Flows off the tongue.
It flows. It's whimsical.
Yeah.
It's almost princess-like. All the ladies are doing it. We're bringing elegance back.
Yeah. All the single ladies do the cunt punt. All the single ladies do the cunt punt.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, it's a new hit. We'll do that for the remix.
Oh, yeah. Gonna remix her with a cunt punt.
So, yeah, this Kristi Noem asshole, she's done. She got put out to pasture, kind of, and this Mark Wayne Mullen is no better. He's just as unqualified and just as crazy, and Mark Wayne Mullen is totally the name of a serial killer, except he doesn't even have a hyphen in his name. Like, even serial killers have a hyphen. It's just Mark Wayne. What the hell is that? How fucking redneck are you?
Allow me to be your Southern cultural attaché. Okay. This was something that surprised me, moving from the West Coast to the South. The number of human beings here who have double barrel names without hyphens is many. It is very common. For example, Sarah Beth, Mary Beth, John James, John Daniel, Daniel John. And these are their names, and there are no hyphens. And it's not just Sarah. It is always Sarah Beth. Or if it's Mary Beth, you could probably get away with MB.
Yeah.
But never Mary.
Does that go to just mixing up the names because they're all screwing their relatives anyway? You're mixing up the gene pool so much that you might as well just not even put a hyphen between Mark and Wayne?
I don't think that's it, but I do know that they have family names. And so that's the other thing that I discovered here in the South. There are people who you will be introduced to. They'll give you a name like, I don't know, Chuck. But they're not called Charles or Charlie or anything. Their name is probably John Daniel because their daddy's name and his daddy's name was John Daniel. And to tell them all apart, they all get a different name. And when they go to school, the teachers call them by that different name, but the name that's on their birth certificate is something completely different.
And if somebody was from another country and came here and did that, they would criticize that in a lot of cases as being, oh, you're too cultural and you just assimilate like everybody else. But hypocritical, I guess, is the word.
They also have problems with people like changing their names. But one of my favorite things, and this is a complete switch, okay, we're moving from the South now to Asia. I love it. I love, 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 and have a special, special appreciation for the English names that people from China choose for themselves, because that's a cultural thing too. People from China will often give themselves an English name for work, and they get to choose it. So someone might have a name that I can't pronounce and I don't want to destroy it, and she might change her name to Lily Huang, okay? Her name isn't Lily. It's something else, but her English name is Lily. Pretty above board. However, I have met Garfield. Yep.
You ever work with Scooby-Doo? Hi, I'm Scooby-Doo. Nice to meet you.
But all sorts of things. Pikachu, like all sorts of names where they gave themselves a name because they liked it. Or I've met with switch it up, like traditional boy, traditional girl, English names on the different gender. So a girl named Mitch.
Well, and why do they do that? They do that for us because it's easier for us to understand. And if that's the case, that's bullshit. We should learn their name.
I am of the same opinion.
I can say Xiaoping or whatever your name is. Even if it seems weird to you, I will make accommodations to call you by your real name.
Right. Where you get into trouble.
Yeah.
It was like early stuff was like the Chinese characters versus English keyboards and all of that kind of thing, and that we can't read it. And so they might do an English letter version of their name.
But still, it has a sound that we can know just to call them the right sound.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know why it happens.
We need to stop that kind of thing. Once we get through this fucking
does.
horrible government we have now, this tyrannical bullshit, then we'll start calling people by their real names.
We live in hope.
So yeah, Kristi Noem got the axe, and then they were talking about the guy that replaced her, and I said, "Oh, it's that guy. It's that guy that tried to start a fight on the congressional proceeding. There's that famous thing, and he's just really fucking dumb. And his name is Mark Wayne Mullen, and I'm starting the trend that from now on he is to be called Mark Wayne Muffin. He should be known as the Muffin because certain people you demean because it's good to demean, and if he's just as bad as Kristi Noem, we should call him Mark Wayne Muffin. All hail me."
Man, the only Wayne I'm interested in is Bruce Wayne.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, it just took me back to a moment. Here's the way my brain works. The original Batman, the TV series, did you people in Australia? Okay.
100%.
The original Catwoman, oh my God. As I was like 4 or 5 years old, that woman changed me, and she still changes me to this day. And that was the best, most attractive woman ever in the history of people when I was 4 years old. And I just had that memory the other day because she came up in something I was scrolling the other day, and I looked her name up, and now I have completely forgot it again.
Put it in a safe place. I remember it's the Adam West Batman, right?
Julie Newmar. Oh, thank Christ I remember. Julie Newmar she was on a lot of Twilight Zones too, and just something seething and wonderful about her.
Seething.
She seethed as the Catwoman. She did lots of cool things with her eyes, and he would mention Robin. She'd roll her eyes like, "Oh, why do you have to have Robin in the equation?"
So funny.
Great.
The only sort of scene that's really burnt into my memory is the one where he's climbing the rope and asks for the shark repellent.
Yeah. They had all kinds of bat repellents.
All kinds of amazing, cute stuff.
Yeah.
Where can you find a bunch of Batman?
Where can you find a bunch of Batman?
Yeah.
It's a very mystical question.
Orphanage.
Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, you leaned a little bit nerd there. It takes a little bit of nerd to understand the history of that joke. Good for you.
It's got layers.
There you go.
It's got layers.
All right, so we'll move into the other news here a little bit. Los Angeles may be the worst city for public transportation. There's a large county area. It can take you like half a day to get anywhere in a car, and the buses and the subways are even slower. Well, our prayers have been answered. There's a new train here in the Los Angeles area, and they have a new ad campaign for it here in the Los Angeles area. And we'll play this news clip from Channel 5 News, the worst of all news sources. And here is them talking about it. And this is a bit within a bit, but you'll see how this goes.
Another thing, have you noticed?
That was totally wrong.
Have you noticed? Stop noticing. Don't notice that.
Totally wrong. There, I have to click that. Right now it's active.
LA Metro is opening 3 new Purple Line stations on May 8th.
Yeah, the 4-mile expansion runs beneath Wilshire Boulevard, adding stops at Wilshire La Brea, Wilshire Fairfax, and all the way out to Wilshire La Cienega. The $3.7 billion project is the first of 3 phases designed to boost West Side connectivity ahead of the 2028 Olympics. Metro calls it a historic milestone that will make travel faster and more accessible for thousands of daily riders. The Purple Line, or D Line, is one of the Metro's most heavily used rail lines. And
all right.
I have a question.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
A really important question.
Sure.
They've got purple lines on the D.
Yeah.
Great. I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, it's kind of the way things go that there's often a mystery to the bit, and oftentimes you have figured out the bit before it becomes the bit.
Oh, no.
But that's fine. That's the way the show goes.
I'm so sorry. This is like quintessential Stu and Emily relationship. Me just like stomping all over your punchline.
I'm sure she hasn't seen this. I'll go with this. And then she figures it out, which is fine. It's genuine. It's the way I would prefer the show to be. I haven't
seen it. I just heard it for the first time. Yeah. I was listening in earnest and then thought, hold on a minute. This doesn't pass the teenage boy test.
Yeah. So, okay, then what do you think their ad campaign is going to be if you had to figure that out?
If I was in charge, it'd be something like ride the D or get on or like hop on the D. I don't know, something like that. It'd be something like that.
Yeah. You have no idea how perfect you are.
Why?
Here's the rest of this news story. And then aside from the rest of the news story, once we get through the delivery of the information, let's take note of how long the stupid, witty banter of Channel 5 goes on. It goes on for a very long time. But first, let's pay off the first part of your guess.
Metro is cashing in on the new D-Line extension. The agency is selling Ride the D crop tops. For $20 and a t-shirt for $21. You can get yours now at shop.metro.net before the extension opens.
It's a shirt that says Ride the D, and it's got a purple thing around the D, but wait, there's more.
Crop top.
Not just
That's
crop
not
top.
The crop top part.
Yeah.
Oh, what were we looking at?
Well,
it's
the slogan,
the phrasing of it.
Be coy, everybody. Everybody be coy.
Yeah.
You said it, but...
Do you want to go back and read it?
I mean, it's just...
Did I say something that was inappropriate?
We thought the crop top was the most
put on the shirt.
salacious
part.
part.
Let me look at it.
It's fine. You don't need...
Okay, the total run on this is 2 minutes and 42 seconds. We're a minute 20 in now, and they keep going.
D-Line extension.
Don't make him discover it.
I still don't.
Okay.
Do you see it? Does it help when you see it?
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm not going to say that.
Because he didn't get it before.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, what they want you to do.
Exactly. That's what they're asking you to do.
You got to do what they want you to do.
I suppose so.
Everybody take a shot every time one of them laughs nervously and overzealously. No, don't. You'll die.
It's amazing how long this goes.
We all want to be good citizens.
Right. You know, the environment.
We all
We all want to help the city of LA.
We're doing what we can.
Yes, doing our part.
God.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that merch now available.
Yeah.
Check out their
Selling
website.
like hotcakes, no doubt.
Thanks for making me.
We should get Erica Kirk in to talk about how much merch they've sold.
It's completely gone. You can't buy these shirts. They're sold out everywhere, and now they're like collector's items. And
I bet.
Yeah, I would totally. If I was a gay guy, that would be the first thing I would buy and wear everywhere.
Don't be a pussy. Just wear it anyway.
It's true. But, I walked around Target with a shirt that said fuck ye, and that was kind of awkward at one time. So, but let's check back in with Channel 5.
I love how you thought the crop top was the worst part of it.
I just thought it was interesting. I thought, okay.
Not really.
That's a little risque,
issue.
but okay. Crop tops. Some people like them.
They're back.
Jesus Christ.
He's so innocent. Kurt.
He is.
So innocent.
He's not. I've seen his grinder account.
Your 7-day forecast now.
Okay, so then they finally go into the news. Do you think during that time they think they're being clever, or do they just have all that time to fill, so they're filling with bullshit to try to do something?
I think it's either the latter Or they are just, none of them have ever done improv and they're all just in an absolute tailspin. And the producer is trying to encourage them to move on to the next thing, but they're all just in a circle jerk of laughter and can't get off it.
You know, we love it when you guys talk to each other and have that fun interchange. It makes you seem very human in the morning. That's what research shows. Ugh.
I feel like it was a bridge too far. They could have ended it way earlier.
Yeah. And that's why I make fun of Channel 5, because they do that crap constantly. And okay, there's a joke in there, but 2 minutes and 42 seconds a joke? Maybe not.
No. It must be hard to run. You know, the 24-hour news cycle's difficult. They have a tremendously difficult job. I personally could never do it. And
yeah, well, nobody is watching TV news anymore. I happen to, because there's an old person in the house and we watch the ABC news. But here locally, they have now taken to doing all kinds of weird things to make people want to watch because nobody is tuning into the news. They have a whole new set, and you start the show and they're sitting at a desk, but it's all new and shiny with lots of chrome. And then at one point, they go to another story, and the anchor that was at the desk is now on a stairwell, and he's standing at this glass stairwell delivering the news. And you're like, oh, look at that. That's weird and odd. And then they come back from commercial, and they're delivering the news from lounge chairs. It's like they're in your living room with lounge chairs and a coffee table, and they deliver the news that way. And it's like, just don't give us bullshit and give us the facts, and don't give us tainted bullshit, and maybe we'll watch. I don't care where you're sitting. It makes it feel really unprofessional that you're sitting there next to a coffee table telling me about what's going on in Iran. Shut up.
I like morning news, morning television. I don't watch it unless I'm holidaying in Australia, and I very specifically watch the Today Show.
Australian Today Show?
Yeah.
Okay, see that it might be better over there. I can't watch any of it here. To me, all the morning stuff is just more of that we just listened to here.
We have this funny tradition in Australia, and maybe we have it here. I wouldn't know because I don't really watch television. But there's like a roving weather reporter, okay? And they go all over the country.
And she gets drunk.
Well,
remember last week?
I do remember last week, yes. But they go to different things like a balloon festival, or they go to a high school, or they go to a charity event or whatever. And I always love watching them do whatever that is. And at some point they'll do something insane like bungee jump or ride a horse, or there's always something kitsch and funny and weird, and they'll talk to all of the people in the crowd and everything. And there's something, I don't know what it is about that, but it's very nostalgic to me. And that's my favorite part of morning television.
There's a reporter out of Denver. Her name is Julie something, red-haired, kind of attractive. She's clever and witty, and for some reason, she's come up in my feed. I can't remember her last name, or I would say it. And she does stuff like that, and that's fun. That's different. That's, at least something other than, okay, now we're sitting next to a coffee table, The FCC now wants to regulate call centers. They're considering limits on U.S. telecom firms' use of foreign call centers, requiring customer service reps to be proficient in English. They're talking about requiring call takers to be proficient in standard English, and the ability to allow consumers to request transfers to calls in the U.S. This is Brendan Carr, who is the chief Republican there at the FCC. He's terrible. He's impotent. He is the guy that had tried to silence Jimmy Kimmel and all these people, and he has no effectiveness, and everything that he has tried has failed. So I feel like he's kind of doing this. I'm not necessarily against the concept of this, and that doesn't come from a standpoint of, oh, those people are from another country. It comes from a standpoint of, I don't care what country you're from. I've talked to people in Alabama that I can't understand.
100%.
And if you're talking to me on the phone, I ought to be able to understand you. And that comes down to give them a decent fucking headset so they're not underwater completely when I talk to them too.
Yeah. I don't understand where he's coming from on this. And I've actually hired and run big call centers out of places like India, like Hyderabad, or like Manila in the Philippines. And generally speaking, I've been able to find more consistent levels of high quality English and customer services in those call centers at a more cost-effective price than trying to hire in some countries where English is the first language.
So it's just that when these companies are hiring people in other countries, they're not hiring the right people. They're getting the really cheap ones that don't speak well. Is that kind of the way it works? Or
I mean, we're making an assumption that there have been complaints about this. The thing for me is I'm like, why would a company hire people who can't do that and provide bad customer service? At some point, that is usually a self-limiting problem. They will fix it.
Well, the reason they do it, though, is it's cheap and they don't care. They don't care about the customer experience. They do it because that way they can say they have a support number and these people are so cheap that they can just farm it out for, $1 an hour per person or whatever it is. That's an example.
I mean, less in some instances. But yeah, I don't know. I guess they do. I don't have enough data to know, is this a real problem?
Well, it's a problem in that he's wanting to enact legislation to do it because I think in his case, he's doing this because he feels ineffectual. And also the FCC, they're debating, but the FCC has never had jurisdiction over this kind of thing. It's another thing that they're deciding to do that they don't have jurisdiction over. In the same way that, you want to make that merger? Well, you better take Jimmy Kimmel off the air if you want us to approve that merger. It's more of that bullshit.
Right. And for me, I'm like, it sounds like something they've just decided that needs to be fixed, but
Right.
I'm not convinced it's even a problem. And it's just like a made up problem with a made up solution, because it's all well and good to say, I would like a pony. And not only that, but I would only like all of my ponies from the Brumby region. There's no fucking ponies in the Brumby region, or there are, but you can't fucking afford them. And so it sounds all well and good to the people that the people that they're talking to, the people that they're whistling at. But to actually implement that is a whole different kettle of fish.
And how are they going to test for that was my question.
Right. How are they going to test for it? And then how are they going to implement it? It's just insanity. What will happen is they'll try to implement it. They'll kick it up to Facebook or whatever, or Walmart. There you go. Walmart will buck at it, and then they'll backtrack on it.
Push back on it?
Yeah, push back on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, push back on it and just be like, no.
You looked at me like, how do you not understand what buck is? You stupid man.
Yeah. No, you're not stupid. I thought you were a real cowboy, Stu.
Well, when you say buck, and then now I'm riding a horse. Look at me go.
Look at you go.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
But yeah, this is just another step in taking over our information sources and having control over everything. And part of this comes because last week, the FCC under Brendan Carr approved Charter Communications' $34.5 billion acquisition of Cox Communications, whose sucks ass that I just got rid of. They were acquired by Charter, and it looks like as part of that deal, all onshore job functions currently handled offshore by Cox are now going to be coming back to the States within the next 18 months. It's almost as if Brendan Carr said to them, hey, you want us to give you the sale? We're going to have to bring those terrible brown people jobs back here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well,
like I said, I'm not against the concept.
Happens.
I'm against what's behind the concept.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on it, and I can't wait to see what happens there. I did have a situation today.
Well, tell us of your situation.
It is in line with this because it has to do with cross-cultural communications and misunderstandings. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm willing to be the asshole in this situation. Of course, I don't think I am, but you be the judge.
Well, I find it's always good to start these off that way. I'm a pro. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm willing to be the asshole. What do we got?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when we opened the show, I started telling you that in our basement, I've been having some work done. As a part of that work, I needed some electrical outlets moved. I supplied all of the outlet switches and wall plates to complete this body of work because the electrician that I've been trying to get to do this for me, he's been ghosting me essentially for 6 months. And the only way that I could get him here is to have everything waiting for him. Okay. So he doesn't even arrive. He sends 2 other people, which I'm cool with. An electrician is an electrician to me. Just do it on the clickety bit, bad boy. Let's go. Okay. So I give them the instructions and it's all great. I'm going to get them to move 2 outlets. I'm changing some of the outlets to include USBs A and C, yada, 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 changing the switches. I just like, thanks guys, give them a wave, bye, go about your business. Anyway, time goes on. Then they call me down to show me what they have done. And it's fine. However, the wall plates that I got were a little bit too small to cover the holes in the wall from what was there before. Not a big deal. However, they had decided to only put the bigger wall plates, which don't match anything, on 2 of the outlets. And I could still see the hole on another one. So I asked them, please make them all the same, because it looks bad to have all different sizes of things that don't match.
Yeah, agreed.
Right? I thought that was relatively straightforward. The guy starts arguing with me about why they need to use a bigger wall plate. And I'm like, yes, I understand. It's good. No, would not let it be. And I was like, yes, it's okay. Use them. Yes, good. To the point where he was like picking it up and putting it over the hole and like demonstrating and showing big one, small one, big one, small one. I'm like, yes, big one, good, great. But all big ones. Like, and he's like, no, don't need the big one for the others. See, this covers it. And I was like, whatever. So I go away and then they call me and then I go down there and they put their boss, the guy that I've been working with, who's done work in this house like for years, puts me on speakerphone. And then he's like, Emily, we have to use the bigger wall plate to cover the hole.
I get it.
And I'm like, mate, I'm not fucking confused.
Right.
You are. I know this and I'm totally okay with that. And then he's like, but we need to use the bigger plate. I was like, oh my God. I know. In fact, it's already installed on the wall and I'm okay with it. And all I want is for them to make it all match. And 2, I want them to take the front off so that our mutual friend, the painter, doesn't paint on it. And he's like, well, hopefully you don't lose the wall plates and, you know, where are we going to put them and all this sort of stuff. And
because you're a silly person that's going to lose the wall plates.
Right. And I was like, look, I can tell that this is really confusing for you guys. So, by the way, my husband and I can do this work. I just don't have fucking time to do it. I was like, you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm annoyed now. And so why don't you just do whatever your little process is, because it sounds like I'm asking you to change something in a process and you guys are short-circuiting. So just you do whatever you're going to do and I will come back later and I will fucking fix it. And then I had to send him a text later, be like, to be clear, here are the 2 things that I want from you because I had to leave the house. And also, please now send me the details of the wall plates that are fugly that you've installed in my house because now I have to install them. He made a design choice based on whatever he had in the fucking truck.
Right.
And now I have to put that throughout my whole fucking house, which has hundreds of outlets. So, am I the asshole in this situation?
No, you're absolutely not the asshole. And here's what I would tell you, and maybe you thought of this. To me, it sounds like perhaps they understood what you were saying, but they didn't have enough of the big wall plates and they didn't want to be stuck having to go somewhere to get them. So they just tried to bullshit their way through it.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
Because I said, do you have enough wall plates? And he said, no.
Well,
I said, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you just install, there's an anchor behind the wall plate. And I was like, I'll just get the wall plates. If they just put the anchors on, I'll get the fucking wall plate. Okay? Not a big deal. But they didn't have those either. And so that's exactly what it was. And I didn't know that the plates I got weren't going to cover the holes because I hadn't taken the outlets off. Yet.
And in a lot of these cases, you're not the one that would have to be getting those products anyway. Usually the person installing them supplies it. So there's that.
I think they left here thinking that I'm confused and unreasonable. And
I think they're just lazy. I think they just don't want to have to get other supplies.
Yeah, all three of them were like so annoyed at me. And I felt annoyed because I was trying so hard and I just couldn't.
You know what they're doing, Emily? I think they're gaslighting you. It's that overused expression. I think they are actually, it applies here, gaslighting you.
You think so?
Go. I do.
I think it was a genuine, like, cross-cultural communication fuck-up, which is why I went and put it in text really clearly.
Even when you explained it, they still found a reason for it not to work. That's why I say that.
Yeah, that could be a thing. I think that they just wanted to do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And then go. And also, in my mind, again, tell me if I'm wrong, but once they realized that the wall plates that I had supplied weren't going to fit over all of the replacement outlets, they should have told me so and asked me what I wanted to do. They didn't. They made a decision themselves that they would just hodgepodge it up.
Yeah, and if it's not what you want, it's not what you want, and they should have asked you that beforehand, so.
We could have avoided all of this.
Yep.
Anyway, I haven't been downstairs to check.
And be the dick sometimes. You have to.
Okay. Well,
and then it's, all theory. If you're being a dick when you have to, you're really not being the dick. You're being reasonable.
You're being reasonable.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you heard Hurricane Melissa has been retired. That's very important as we name things.
I don't understand why. What can you tell me about this? I had heard that it's being retired, but I didn't know why.
Well, let's see what is in the news report here.
Molly is replacing Melissa. The World Meteorological Organization has announced that the name Melissa is being retired from the list used to ID tropical storms and hurricanes in the Atlantic Basin. On October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa made landfall on Jamaica as a Category 5 storm. Winds of 185 miles per hour sustained, making it the strongest hurricane to make landfall on Jamaica in its recorded history. Now, because the list of names to ID tropical storms and hurricanes cycles through every 6 years, the first time we'll see Melissa's replacement, Molly, will be during hurricane season 2031.
And by the way, that guy's delivery is just electric. Ooh, he's sizzling with excitement. And I didn't really realize they did this. I knew that they named them, which I always thought was kind of weird. And then I thought that, okay, I guess they're retiring the big serious ones, never to be called that same name again. Katrina, I guess, is retired. And then I thought, okay, we should start naming all of our natural disasters like earthquakes. And I thought maybe what we do is we do the female names for hurricanes and male names for earthquakes. Or is that too gender specific?
I mean, I never understood why. I guess it's because it's Mother Nature, but why every bad thing that happens has a female name.
Yeah. Why are we doing it to begin with? That's a good question.
And how do they choose the names? I feel like I know a lot of really nice Melissas. I'd rather that we named these things after real horrible cunts, like people who've done some real bad shit, like Irma. The Irma Grease, the Nazi concentration camp guard, or
Kristi.
Or Griselda.
Who has a child nowadays and calls the child Griselda? How does that happen? There's no Berthas anymore. There's very few of those weird old-timey names nowadays. And how do they become old-timey names? That's a whole discussion unto itself.
That's a whole other thing. Here's another one. Delphine. That was Delphine LaLaurie.
That sounds like something Taylor Swift would name her child when she has a child. I'm going to call it Delphine.
Oh, I could see that, but maybe not after she listens to the show and hears that she was a New Orleans socialite who tortured and murdered enslaved people in her home.
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take. But yeah, we should name them after sort of super horrible stuff.
Yeah, and then I thought if we do male names for earthquakes, that could be
Yeah.
kind of weird because Bob rocked the city today with a 5.6, and that would be weird. And then as I was thinking of this, I realized that I might be stealing an old Henry Rollins bit, but I don't think so.
Oh.
And I have that bit here for you now. You heard a second of it earlier.
Another thing, have you noticed that the weather's always changing now? Because of El Nino. And now everything can be blamed on El Nino. Which translates into what? The child? A weather pattern that, like, demolishes California, puts it where it probably should be, in the water. Bye. So why would you name this thing that's like demolishing parts of America, flooding poor people out of their homes, ripping apart places like Peru, totally changing the world's economy due to, like, farmers can't get their shit together and all this shit is happening? Why would you call it the child? Like, could a 4-year-old kick your town's ass? I think they should call it the motherfucker. And have, like, straight-faced weathermen. If you're thinking of going fishing this weekend, then think again. The motherfucker will be sending in 4 inches of rain to your town. People in Santa Barbara, California are feeling the wrath of the motherfucker. Cut to, like, down in Mississippi that floods all the time. Everything was fine till the motherfucker took it all away. God damn you, motherfucker. Because El Nino just doesn't cut it for me. Maybe we should call it the first 4 Black Sabbath albums. That would work. Bakersfield, California was destroyed today by the first 4 Black Sabbath albums. Fuck yeah, it was. Have you ever heard Paranoid? God damn. That would destroy my town right now. Let's do it. So that would work, but El Nino doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
Henry Rollins, the best.
Funny.
And then I had one other thing here from news anchors. I want to do this before the end of the show because it's kind of timely and it'll seem old if we don't get to it this week. We love it when news anchors fuck up. This is KDFX TV news in Wichita Falls, Texas. Carney Porter mentioned the weather in the exact wrong way.
Carney?
And then the weather guy, Michael Bowling, corrected her. And it's really clear that they don't like each other. And it goes, and she calls him boring at one point. And you have to listen close because this is some guy recording it from his TV. It's really good.
We don't have any rain in our forecast, but something that is in the not so distant future that we can forecast is Midland weather.
Did you say
radio.
you don't have any rain forecast?
In the next few days. But in the next few days, we have Midland Weather Radio Day.
I just said a second ago we have rain in the forecast.
Well, not until this weekend, right?
Well, the day of the event, I have rain.
Well, I'm not talking. I'm talking like 3 or 4 days.
It's coming. Actually, the rain chance is coming before the event.
Trying to correct people and just do your job.
I just don't know why you don't
100%.
listen to me. Anyways, take a look at
Because
that.
boring.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, anyways, Midland Weather Radio Days.
So they didn't get along, and that's happened before. Apparently they do that kind of stuff on the air, and then they tried to promo it up and make it okay, and they took pictures of them with boxing gloves, and they, I guess, tried to capitalize on all that, and then they issued statements that, no, we really do like each other. That's just the way we go at each other, and it's a bunch of bullshit. They hate each other, and they're trying to make it seem good and true that they're just joking around. You ever work with somebody that you really hate?
No, I've been very lucky.
Yeah.
In as far as news goes, that I've worked for great news institutions, and I like everybody. Oh, yes, I have. Yep, there it goes. I'd repressed that memory, but it's just come right into my mind palace. There was someone that I worked with who I still fucking hate. Yeah.
You would think that there has to be one because there's so many inept people in entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just this one person that I really fucking hate, like, with a fucking passion. And he was actually responsible for a bunch of horrible shit that happened to me at this one company. And I ended up leaving that company, and it was acquired by another big company. And the day that I discovered that he was fired, like unceremoniously fired by the acquiring company, the person who told me, I was like, wow, it could not have happened to a nicer person. And that's probably about as mean as I get. And
see, I disagree.
Like,
they always say you shouldn't take glee in other people's misfortune. And I absolutely think it's fine when they're terrible people. This is our government currently. You'll feel different after we get rid of these motherfuckers. You'll take glee in it.
Yeah. And I don't know if I was gleeful because I felt sorry for his family because he had a stay-at-home wife and all that sort of stuff. But I did feel like, yeah, take that, you fucking prick.
Yeah.
I often feel like certain types of people who are hyper aggressive and awful and stuff, the world just bends over for them. And in corporate environments, often the most unhinged weirdo in an executive leadership position, nothing ever bad happens to them. They just continue to ascend like an unhinged, untethered fucking steam train of death and doom. Like they just...
Sailing upwards, they call it.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, beep, beep, meh, just going through everybody. And I like it when their train is derailed.
I dated a girl that did nights at a radio station. She was also dating the program director at the time, and neither one of us knew it. And he also was a serial rapist, convicted and jailed at one point, and violent. And that blew up into a little bit of a situation.
My God.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. That try to be friendly and nice with somebody on the air when all that's going on. That was my memory of the whole thing. Oh, she's coming up next. Yeah, it was interesting.
That is so bad.
Yeah.
I could not even imagine.
You ever go home and have a couple shooters and come back a different lady? It's not supposed to make sense. It's okay.
I mean, is it Shooter McGavin?
No, you just go home, have a couple shooters, come back a different lady. I'm just getting to this next thing because this whole discussion allows me to once again play Paul Moyer versus Ann Martin from KABC TV. That is an old favorite that I wanted to play again.
And shooters are shots, right?
Yeah.
Like shots of booze.
And sometimes you go home, have a couple shooters, come back a whole different lady. That's what he alleges here in this now legendary thing.
All the time.
It frequently is. It frequently is.
Well, then we better talk about it.
Do you hear me complaining about it?
Then we better talk about it.
Tonight I'm complaining because tonight I said,
then we better talk about it because I think you've got a
agree.
problem. I think we've got a problem. All right? If that's what you think, then we'll talk about it after the show. And
This is at a commercial break, by the way, while they're doing the news.
Talk about it with Roger Bell. Because I'm not going to sit here night after night
Fucking
and put
Roger
up with
Bell.
this shit. Okay?
Night after night? Night after night?
Well, it looks to me like that's the way it's going to go,
I'll
Ann.
take the ante up a little higher than that even. You're not only wrong, you're way out of line.
Let me tell you something.
You
kiddo.
started it, pal.
You want Harold Green, you might get him.
It's fine with me. Fine
is
with
it really?
me. Good old
Oh.
Harold Green.
Okay. You want to start dealing with shit? Go ahead. That's what you want.
It's more coming here.
You just might get it.
A little bit of gap.
You know, you go home and have a couple of shooters, and I don't know what the fuck happens, but when you come back, you're not the same lady.
That's not true.
Some nights it is, Ann.
Oh, there you go. I just love that so much. And I love Casey Kasem with the Ponderous and all of it, but I'm not going to play all of it because there's the show.
Oh my gosh. And so he's saying that she's an alcoholic, I guess, is what he's
Well, they're having a fight about something, and he's saying, you want Harold Green? You might get Harold Green. Harold Green was another anchor that I think was kind of known as the dopey guy around the news station, but they're not getting along, and he's accusing her of something. And then at the end, he's saying, yeah, you go home and you have a couple shooters, and then they get in fights, and oh, it's just so good. I love crap like that because it's just real humanity, and it's the way people are, and we try to sweep it under the rug, and it still happens.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. So I was talking to one of my friends today, and she's a lash technician, and she said that, and this is like just peak entitlement and unhinged weird people, right? She had a new client a week ago, and then all of a sudden she wants to come in for a lash fill, and she calls her at 10:30 saying, can you see me at 11? And she's like, no, ma'am, I have another client. And she just would not let her get away with it. It'll only take 15 minutes. You can start there later. Why won't you see me? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I can see you at 3 p.m. Come back at 3. No, that's not going to work for me. And she told her politely 3 times for all of the different stuff. No. I'm sorry. No, come at 3. The lady rocks up at 11:30.
Oh my God.
She's already with a client. The door is closed. She hears this woman, there's like 20 people either doing nails or getting nails done. And this woman sort of storms in, has a go at the lady on the front desk who's like, she's with a client right now. Your appointment is at 3. Well, I can't do 3. It'll only take her 15 minutes. Why are you going to charge me $50 for a fill? An argument ensued. And then Jessie just said, we'll see you at 3 o'clock. Now is not your appointment time. Thank you so much. And just sort of left her. Then the lady stalks her around the store for a bit before opening the fucking door to the lash studio. God. And she's like, excuse me? And then she's on at her again going, just look at them right now. I just need you to look at them and I need you to help me do this. I need to get to Florida this afternoon. I can't come back at 3. I can't do this. I need you to look at it right now. And she's like, ma'am, I cannot help you. This is somebody else's appointment time. You're being incredibly rude. And she's just like storming in going, look at them, look at them. And she's like, I've been lashing for long enough. I do not need to look at your lashes. You have a time allotted to you and you can come back at that time. But the lady they nearly had to call the police. Eventually, she left. And then when they came out, the whole nail salon was like, that woman should never be allowed back here. Psycho. And then she kept texting all day and all night, threats, accusing her of just trying to squeeze money out of her and for being completely rude and unaccommodating and all this kind of stuff, has like turned it around and is now giving them bad reviews on social media. Discuss.
Well, that's just an asshole. And as much as I like to yelp when I'm wronged, it is equally true that things like that happen and bad yelps happen to businesses, and there ought to be a way around that. I don't know what that answer is. I don't know what the resolution is, but that's just a fucking crazy person. And obviously she could do it at 3 because she just kept texting her and kept going on with stuff and had to be an upper middle class white lady, probably somebody in a Tesla.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed a really important part of the story. So she accepted the 3 o'clock appointment, but then said she couldn't come. And then the final thing was, fine, I'll come at 3. 3 o'clock rolls around. You think she was there? No, she fucking wasn't. She didn't come to her appointment. My friend left just before 3:30 because that was her end of her workday, but she was going to stay for another 30 minutes or however long it was going to take to give this lady, the psycho, the fill that she wanted. But she didn't show up on time, and so she just assumed she's not coming. 3:30 rocks around and she charges in and is like, where is she to do my lashes?
God.
Jessie, the lady at the front desk who also owns the business, is like, your appointment was at 3. Your lash technician is no longer here. And she went crazy again in front of everyone. Full-blown mental case.
This is the most entitled person ever, and they just need to get the fuck out of everyone's life.
You can't just fucking show up and expect that the best technicians are available for you and are at your beck and call, because these people are professionals.
If I were you, being her friend, I would have some fun with it for a while. And you would have to take it just up to the right point. But then I would call her and say, yeah, I need to get this done right away. Can you just do this for me? I'll show up at 11 o'clock, and just kind of go through the same scenario and lead it up and do it just to the point where she was going to get really pissed off and go, I'm just fucking with you.
I could text her right now and be like, hey, can I come in at 2 p.m.? It's currently 1:53 where I am. Hey, you still there? Can I come in at 2 p.m.? And then she'd be like, no, I just saw you. You have another appointment. I'll be like, can you start them late? Can you just do mine?
It's only going to take a couple minutes.
It's only going to take 15 minutes. But this is weird too. Like lash techs, nail techs, they're not taxis.
Right.
They don't charge by the minute.
Right.
It's like, they're like lawyers. They charge in blocks of time. And so even if I book a 30-minute and if I just go in there and flash her my tits and then leave, I've still got to pay her for the 30 minutes of time that I booked.
Has that happened before? Or?
Not yet.
Okay, damn it. Because that'd be a good story too.
That would be a good story too. Oh, speaking of flashing tits,
Yeah.
do you know what I learned today?
What?
We don't call them strippers anymore.
What are they? Clothing technicians and something lame like that. Right?
No.
No.
Night ballerinas.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good indeed. Well, you know what she should have said to that lady, really, when she was raising a big goddamn fucking fuss?
Shut the hell away from me.
That is it right there.
Yes, exactly.
This has been a show. Everybody have a great one.
Take care. Be vigilante.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.